Hi, it's Jack from Reverb. We're here at Dina. We're at the Algorave, which is basically where coding meets live music. We're here to chat to the artists, chat to the people responsible for running this night. We're going to find out what it's all about.
So I've got quite a mixed background. I'm a musician, I'm a technologist, a researcher. Here I'm in the capacity of a kind of event organiser or maybe janitor.
You can talk to me a bit about algorithms. It's crazy to see from someone that doesn't know a lot about coding and stuff. Love electronic music, love raves and that kind of thing. Can you explain a little bit about what algoraves are all about?
Yeah, so I guess there's rave in the name, you know what they are. Algorithms about describing music. What we're doing is taking algorithms and using it to describe music as code. Code, you can think of it in different ways. I like to think of it in terms of patterns. Like if you think about knitting patterns, for example, you kind of follow a procedure that's written down on a piece of paper, if you're a beginner at least, and it might include not only knits and purls, which are the different stitches, but also repetitions, like do this bit so many times. There might be like conditional bits where you follow this bit of code in order to make an arm that's a certain size or something. So this idea of repetition and conditional statements, that's kind of the core of what an algorithm is, I suppose. So we're doing something like knitting, but we're not using our hands to knit. We're typing in bits of code that describe music.
It's amazing. It sounds so simple when you put it like that.
Yeah.
How did you originally get into it? Like, what sort of came first? Is it the music, or was it the coding first for you? Like, how did you get into algorithms?
Yeah, I guess I was a programmer first, wanting to make music. Really kind of obsessive programmer, but it's kind of a lonely occupation, do it on your own. Yeah. So. Yeah, I wanted to make music, so it just made sense to write code to make music because it's what I could do. But I've been doing this for about, about 18 years now. I started making algorithmic music in 2000, and I've made my own. Over this time, I've made various different systems for making music. The one I've made most recently is called Tidal Cycles, which is a free open source software. You can download it and try it out yourself. Used by lots of people around the world, including some of the acts tonight. There's also lots of other systems like Vox.dot, another free system made in Yorkshire, and what else? Pure Data, Super Collider. So yeah, it's kind of a community where we share things, so everything's free to download, and we share what we're doing by projecting our screens, so you can kind of see all our techniques and sort of develop them for yourself. So it's like a default open community, so it's quite easy to get into.
Yeah, I speak to people here and everyone seems to say it's a cool environment, everyone's quite closely knit, it's very inclusive, it's quite easy to get into. We speak to people that met you at a workshop that was doing that kind of thing. Is it quite easy to pick up, and is it quite like a tight-knit community? Does everyone sort of know each other?
Yeah, I guess, it's kind of an international community, but it feels like there's just a few people in each city and just kind of link up online. In Sheffield, we have something called Tidal Club, where you can just come along every month and just try out Tidal, get some help installing it if you have some problems with it, and we sort of share ideas. There's also an organisation called Sona, which is a group run by women for women, sort of getting them into music technology. There's all these different aspects of the community that come together and form this nice whole.
Yeah, how long have you been doing it for now?
About 18 years, but like we came up with the name Algorave about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. Before that, we just called it live coding to make algorithmic dance music. But,
Groovy name now.
Yeah, but now it's kind of got a name, it's something people get behind, and that seems to
suppose, yeah, when it's got that name, people can, like you say, sort of get behind it, and they. So what do you enjoy going to? Well, I went to Algorave, and it's got it's got a kick to it, hasn't it? It's got
but it doesn't. Your name Algorave doesn't really take itself too seriously at the same time. You can't really say I'm going to perform at an Algorave tonight and sort of act as
I get the sense that's the beauty of it, though, that it's a very futuristic, intelligent sort of way of performing music, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. You can see there's a massive demographic of people here. Like so many different sounds. You walk from that room where it's crazy, like high frequency stuff, then you go into the other room, it's quite really ambient, it's beautiful music. The range is what surprised me most. I thought the range was really interesting. Is that common, just a massive different range of like algorithmic music?
Yeah, like that huge range is common. This having 2 rooms, this is the first time we've tried it, and it seems to work really well. So.
The trumpet. His real name is Simon.
Yes.
He's just finished performing in the ambient room, the chill room. So can you tell us a bit about what his style is and how that fits into the algorave genre as a whole?
Okay. What I'm doing here brings in together 3 things which I do. The first one is Ted the trumpet is a clue because I'm a trumpet player. So I was originally a jazz trumpet player, so that's one of the elements I'm bringing in live trumpet what I'm doing. The other element is obviously live coding and algorave, which I'm using the programming language Super Collider, which I've been working with for a couple of years. And the third element of that is my other interest, which those of you who are knowledgeable about these kind of things may have got it from the shirt. I'm experimenting in Indonesian gamelan music as well. So I'm using gamelan samples in Super Collider and playing trumpet as well. So that's what I went for tonight.
And is Ted the trumpet the only act of its kind?
Yes, absolutely unique. I think I'm the only live coding, trumpet playing, gamelan musician on the planet, as far as I know. The minute this goes out, 40 other people will say, no, I'm doing the same thing. But as far as I know, yes.
And when did you start first getting into algorave?
I first got into algorave. Gee, that's a good question. How did that happen? As someone who's worked I've been a contemporary composer, but I've also worked a lot with technology all throughout my career. And you just go through lots of different tools. I used to work with sequencers, and then I used to work with Max MSP, and always I had an interest in algorithmic composition and wanting to make music using the numbers. So rather than write the notes, you say these are the notes I want, and you let the computer figure the notes out. And I've been doing that for many years. I did it originally in a ClarisWorks spreadsheet, believe it or not. I had a formula in a spreadsheet that generated MIDI notes, and I did that. So this is years and years later. The big thing that happened was when Super Collider went free and open source. Because that was, James McCartney did this famous post saying he's got a job with a major fruit company. He got a job with Apple, made Super Collider free and open source. It's not $200 anymore. I'm going to get a copy, and that was the kind of start of me working with that kind of code.
And Super Collider, the software you mentioned, how does it work? For us, we novices.
I have absolutely no idea. How does it work? What's a good explanation? I did a workshop with a colleague of mine, and she said, I finally get it, I'm giving instructions. Like each line of code is an instruction to the program to do something. So you're saying, you wanted to do this 3 times or 4 times, or you want to pick these random numbers, and you build up a set of instructions, is basically what you're doing there. So I guess, in the most simplified sense, that's how it works, when it works.
I'm a trumpet player myself, actually.
Oh really? Okay.
More traditional. So how does the trumpet fit into it? What made you want to bring the trumpet into it?
That just kind of happened. I was playing at the EMF camp a couple of years ago, and I'd taken the trumpet with me. I'm not really quite sure why. And some guys were banging away with it. I just went and got the trumpet and put in the electronic mute and played along. And I thought, well, this kind of, I should try and do this, and especially with being a kind of a chill out thing, I thought, well, that'll be really nice. You know, some gamelan samples, some trumpet, bags of reverb. What could go wrong, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We really loved your sound.
Thank you.
Organic kind of sound. With the electric mute, how does that work?
The electric mute, yeah, there's a couple of companies that make them. It's basically, it's designed as a practice mute. So you can actually play it in a hotel room and it's really, really, really quiet. But it's also got an electronic output, so you can use it as a pickup. And the advantage there is playing live like this, there's no acoustic trumpet sound that the audience is going to hear. So you're just getting the pure sound of it. The problem is it's, what with the gamelan samples being not quite in the Western tuning, and the mute itself doesn't, it's very technical stuff, so it doesn't quite play in tune.
Yeah.
So I have to use a lot of adjustment on the valves. It's one of the frustrating things about practice mutes is they say they play in tune, but they actually don't. They're smiling like a trumpet player.
Aware of what you mean, yeah. Okay, just one more thing.
Yeah.
Are the songs you play tonight the songs you play elsewhere? And how do you prepare for a set of
Oh, that's an interesting thing. There's a certain amount of preparation. Like you can go like really hardcore, like you've got to start with a blank screen and you start with nothing. But for this one here, you prepare the samples, you prepare some gestures. I don't need to prepare anything on the trumpet because I can make stuff up as I go along on the trumpet, you know. So that's the fine, that's improvising. So it's a balance between having some stuff prepared and some stuff improvised. I was at a conference in Leipzig the other day, and I'm thrown in the deep end. It was an international improvisation conference, and suddenly somebody said, "Oh, do some live coding?" So I quickly pulled out some stuff I had from another project and kind of whipped something together that would kind of work in that sense. Because you've got a lot of stuff that you've done, and the great thing about it, you just save the file and then put it back up again and do something new with it.
Straight after a performance at the Algorave. How was that?
It was intense. It was fun, really fun, but I'm a bit like, oh my god. No.
It was amazing the first time tonight that we've heard vocals and the coding done at the same time. So is that unusual for you?
This is my first live coding show that I've done. I've been writing and performing sort of electro-pop stuff for a few years, but it's normally on hardware synths, and basically the language that I was using is a thing called Ixie, which I was taught in an academic workshop in, I think it was 2016, and I loved it, and then I completely forgot that it was installed on my computer, and then 6 weeks ago I found the app on my laptop and was like, oh, I forgot about that, I should try it out again. And then ended up writing a song that evening, videoed myself playing it, and then the next day, Alex, who has organised this event, had seen it and was like, do you want to play this algorave? And I was like, I don't have any songs. And he was like, can you write more songs? And I was like, sure. So 6 weeks and 7 songs later, here I am. And yeah, they were all completely new songs that I've not played before, and then I've also released as a sort of mini album today. So it's been a lot, which is why I'm vlogging about it again.
It doesn't sound like you've literally just done those songs when they were performed almost to perfection. Did you just come across? Was it just you were playing about with it and had to go down this route, or were you aware about this community before?
I think I probably had heard of Algorave before, but I didn't know anybody who was involved in it, and it wasn't something that I kind of been in myself. So this is kind of completely new to me. I don't really know anybody here. Everybody's really, really lovely. It's so much fun. And I want to play more Algoraves. It's such a nice community of people.
Well, a lot of people spoke today say the reason they come to these kind of events is because they find it very inclusive. And obviously, as a female in the music industry as well, do you find that being in a community like this makes you feel welcome, like you say, you want to come back and do more? Is it almost making you think about going down this route?
Yeah, this is definitely one of the most diverse lineups I think I've ever played on, which is kind of surprising to me. I expected it to be like incredibly male because of what it is. It's kind of tech focused, and it's, I mean, I kind of usually play on like the indie circuit in London, so I'm often like supporting guitar bands and stuff, and I'm like the only girl and I'm the only electronic musician, and here it's just like, it's fine, I'm just like everybody else, except that I'm not as good a coder as most of the other people here.
I think your music is probably as well the most accessible that I've heard tonight, because I think it's experimental genre. It's a lot of kind of playing about with the coding, creating lots of almost abrasive sounds to just create this mad, almost like a frenzy of music, whereas I think you can definitely feel that electro pop coming through. Do you think you're going to stick to that, or maybe being around the algorithm community, maybe branch out and get a bit more experimental and have a taste for it?
I mean, I kind of want to, like, one of the things that happened, like, right from the start, like, seeing the first act playing tonight, I was like, God, I really want to make music that just, like, bangs a little bit harder. And the last song that I played today is probably the most, like, danceable thing that I've written. And it was the last thing that I wrote for this set. And I kind of do think it's not necessarily more experimental, but, like, slightly harder than the other stuff that I do. And it doesn't sound like, none of what I'm doing sounds experimental, I don't think, but the software that I'm using makes it very easy to write things with odd time signatures, and like there was a song in that set that was in 5/4, and there was another song that I think is in like 15/16, some weird like mathy time signature. So I'm still writing stuff that I hope sounds really accessible, but to me that feels more experimental, although still not as much as a lot of people here are doing. So who knows? I don't know. If they let me come back, maybe next time I will be making like, I don't know, breakcore and 9/8 or something.
So it looks like algorithms after your first sort of big performance here. What finally would you give advice to people that are maybe get into algo rave for the first time, maybe considering going down that route but are just not sure about it? What advice would you give them?
I think just do it. I mean, it was ridiculous of me to say yes to a gig 6 weeks in advance when I only had